Hi, I'm Shelley. Welcome back to my channel. This video is going to be my November and December reading wrap-up. And I read, I think it was 15 books in those 2 months, and I'll go through them. I think they were mostly mystery, cozy mystery thriller type books. Seems to be what I've been back into reading right now. The first one I read in November is Third Girl by Agatha Christie. And it's a typical Agatha Christie Hercule Poirot novel. 3 young women share a London flat. The first is a coolly efficient secretary. The second is an artist. The third interrupts Hercule Poirot's breakfast, confessing that she is a murderer, and then promptly disappears. Slowly, Poirot learns of the rumors surrounding the mysterious third girl, her family, and her disappearance. Without evidence is needed before the great detective can pronounce her guilty, innocent, or insane. I really enjoyed this one. Typical Hercule Poirot. I've been reading through. I think I read most of the books years ago, and I've watched many of the TV adaptations of the books. But of course, I don't really remember what happened in a lot of them. So I've been trying to go through all the Hercule Poirot novels the past few years. And I really enjoyed that one. The next one is Everyone on This Train is a Suspect by Benjamin Stevenson. And I like this one. Ernest Cunningham. It says here, I'm Ernest Cunningham, call me Ern or Ernie. When the Australian Mystery Writers Society invited me to their crime writing festival aboard the Ghan, famous train through the vast Australian desert, I was hoping for some inspiration for my second book, fiction this time. The program is a who's who of crime writing royalty. The debut writer, me, the forensic science writer, the blockbuster writer, the legal thriller writer, the literary writer, and the psychological suspense writer. But when one of us is murdered, the remaining authors quickly turn into 5 detectives. Together we should know how to solve a crime or commit one. I really enjoyed this one. Of course, On a Train really reminded me of Agatha Christie's Murder on the Orient Express. And well, it's not the same as that, so it's not a spoiler. But I really did enjoy this one. The next one, the new to me author, Freida McFadden, The Boyfriend. And this one, Sydney Shaw. She is single woman in New York. She starts dating. Her new boyfriend is seemingly perfect. He's charming, handsome, works as a doctor in a local hospital. But then apparently there's a string of murders in the area. And she starts to suspect if he has anything to do with it. And I really enjoyed this book. It was a lot of twists. And the one towards the end, I really was surprised, and I really did enjoy her writing, and I'll probably pick up books from her again. The next one was, this one was an ebook, and it's called A New Lease on Death. I don't know if you can see that there, by Olivia Blacke. And it's it's a relationship between 2 main characters, which is a curmudgeonly dead recent tenant and a new lively young tenant who takes over her apartment, and they work together to solve a crime. And it's the first book in a series, so I might pick up the next one when it comes out. Found it just like a cozy mystery type book. The next book I read in November is The Book of Witching by C.J. Cooke. And I've always enjoyed books that involve witches, and this one is 2 timelines. one in Glasgow, 2024, where Clem waits by her daughter's hospital bed. Erin was found on an idyllic beach in Finhallow Bay, Orkney, with catastrophic burns and only one memory. Her name is Nix. But how did she get these burns, and how did her boyfriend end up burned alive? And the other timeline is Orkney, 1594. Accused of witchcraft, Alison Balfour awaits trial to punishment to be burned alive. Separated by 400 years, but bound by the Book of Witching, two women stand imperiled. Can they unlock a centuries-old mystery, and will Finhallow Bay give up its secrets before someone else dies? And I really enjoyed the writing of this book, and it seems like she did a lot of research into the area and what happened to women who were accused of witchcraft usually by the church back in starting as 1500s and maybe before, I'm not sure. But I really did enjoy this book. And I have another one of her books yet to read as well. And I have read other books by her. The next one for November is this one here, Before We Forget Kindness, by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. And it's the fifth book in the Before the Coffee Gets Cold series. Tucked within a small back alley in Tokyo is a cafe that has been serving carefully brewed coffee for more than 100 years. Regular patrons know the cafe's legend by heart. If they follow the rules, they'll be allowed the unique opportunity to travel back in time, as long as they return to the present before their coffee gets cold. And in this novel, there's four new customers. And I really enjoyed this book. Every year, whenever a new book comes out, as soon as I find it's coming out, I pre-order right away. I've enjoyed all of these books, and this one here I happened to get. It's you can see that it was a special edition with the sprayed edges, green sprayed edges, and I really like the color in this one, and I really like this book. The next book I read in November is this one right here, I Only Read Murder. And that's by Will and Ian Ferguson. And this book says, strap in for a hilarious and satisfying ride. Terry Fallis, best-selling author of Operation Angus, a once-famous TV sleuth, an amateur theater production, an unstaged murder, a town full of suspects. Miranda Abbott, once known for the crime-solving, karate-chopping church pastor she played on network television, has hit hard times. She's facing ruin when a mysterious postcard arrives summoning her to Happy Rock, a small town in the Pacific Northwest. And when she gets there, nothing is what she expected. In dire straits, she signs up for an amateur production of the Happy Rock Little Theater. On opening night, one of the actors is murdered live in front of the audience. But no one actually saw what happened. Now everyone is under a cloud of suspicion, including the town doctor, the high school drama teacher, an oil-stained car mechanic, an elderly gentleman who may have been in the CIA, and Miranda herself. Clearly, the only way to solve this mystery is for Miranda to summon her skills as television pastor's friend, because the show must go on. I really enjoyed this one. It was funny. It was, it's a cozy mystery type book. Nothing too dark. And I really enjoyed that one. And the next one, I think this is the last one that I read in November. And this one is Last Night in Montreal by Emily St. John Mandel. And this one says, when Olivia Abbott was a child, her father appeared on the doorstep of her mother's house and took her away. Now haunted by an inability to remember much about her early childhood, Lilia moves restlessly from city to city, abandoning lovers and eluding the private detective who has dedicated a career to following close behind, until she meets Eli, her latest boyfriend. When Lilia goes out for a paper and fails to return to their Brooklyn apartment, he follows her to Montreal, not knowing whether he wants to disappear too or help her find her way home. What he discovers is a deeper mystery, one that will set past and present spinning towards collision. This one is a reread for me. I'm going to be reading. I read another of hers. It's like 6 books, and they're not really a series, but there are some little connections between them all. So I decided to reread this one before I read the next 2, and I'm going to reread the final 3 of her books. And I really enjoyed this one. Lilia, her father seemingly kidnapped her when she was young, and you find out through the story why he took her away from her mother, and she was pretty well on the run with him most of her life, and then she really can't stay in one place very long when she becomes an adult. And I really enjoyed this story. Now for the December books. First one is this one here. Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers, by Jessie Q. Sutanto. And in this one, Vera Wong is described as a lonely little old lady. She lives above her tea shop, and she feels like she's been forgotten. She doesn't have many customers. And one morning she comes downstairs and finds a dead man in the middle of her tea shop. And he has something on him. And before she calls the police, she takes it because she thinks she can solve the crime better than the police can. And this story is what she gets up to, trying to solve the crime, and the new friendships and relationships she forms along the way. And I really, really like this. I love this story. And there's going to be another book coming out in a couple months or so, and I plan on picking that one up when it comes out. The next one is Everyone This Christmas as a Secret by Benjamin Stevenson. And this is the 3rd Ernest Cunningham story. This one really is 24 chapters, so you could kind of read a chapter a day during December if you wanted to pick it up and read it in December. And but I read it over a couple of days. And in this one, it says, my name's Ernest Cunningham. I used to be a fan of Golden Age mysteries until I found myself frequently stuck in the middle of real-life ones. I'd hoped that any self-respecting murderer would take it easy over the holidays. I was wrong. So here I am at the Christmas show of world-famous magician Ryland Blaze, whose benefactor has been murdered. My suspects are all professional tricksters: the magician, the assistant, the executive, the hypnotist, the identical twin, the counselor, and the stagehand. If I can see through the illusions, I know I can solve it. After all, good murder is just like a magic trick, isn't it? And I really enjoyed this one. It was just a quick, fun, it's only a short book. And it was a fun mystery read with a Christmassy theme. And I really enjoyed that one. The next one I read in December is Matt Haig's latest book, The Life Impossible. And this one, when retired math teacher Grace Winters is left in a rundown house on Mediterranean Island by a long-lost friend, curiosity gets the better of her. She arrives at Ibiza with one-way ticket, no guidebook, and no plan. Among the rugged hills and golden beaches of the island, Grace searches for answers about her friend's life and how it ended. What she uncovers is stranger than she could have dreamed, but to dive into this impossible truth, Grace must first come to terms with her past. Filled with wonder and wild adventure, this is a story of hope and the life-changing power of a new beginning. I really, really like this story. There's real life, there's magical realism, and it's really a story about relationships, past and present, and I think it's a book about forgiving yourself and for taking a chance on something new in life, no matter what your age is. I really liked it. The next book I read this one was a very short, it's only 127 pages. Jenny Colgan, The Christmas Book Hunt. And this one was just Muriel, her great aunt Violet, is seriously ill, and her one Christmas wish is to find her long lost hand illustrated book from her childhood. So Muriel decides to look for it. This is set in Scotland, so she decides to look for the book. And along the way, she runs into someone else who was named Theo, and he is looking for the same book for reasons of his own, which we don't know at the beginning. But it turns into a cute, of course, Christmassy romance. And I like the fact that there was a little surprise in it from one of her other books, and I really like that as well. The next one I read in December was Skipping Christmas by John Grisham. And I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Christmas with the Cranks, and this is what the movie was based on, this book. I didn't forgot about it till like recently. And the Cranks, Nora and Luther, decide that they're skipping Christmas this year because their daughter's not going to be home. So their house will be the only one on Inlock Street without a rooftop frosty. They won't be hosting their annual Christmas Eve bash, and they aren't even going to have a tree. On Christmas Day, they're planning on going on a Caribbean cruise. But their daughter says she's coming home for Christmas, so they have to change their plans. And everything, all the hilarity and chaos that ensues with that. And I really like the book, and I think the movie really does bring the book to life as well. There's that one. See, I'm down to last two books of 2024. Second last one is The Rom-Commers by Katherine Center. And this one is about Emma Wheeler. She's an aspiring screenwriter, and she gets the chance to ghostwrite for a famous screenwriter, Charlie Yates, her personal writing god. And she is the personal caregiver of her father, so she has to give up that, which she found hard to do because she was her father's caregiver for 10 years, I think. But she has to let her younger sister do that job while she goes to LA for 6 weeks. And the story is about, of course, the romance between these two. No spoiler. And I really like the fact that it showed a lot of family and the drama and what people are really like, the good and the bad. And of course there is a happy ending, so I think all of our books have a happy ending. And I really enjoyed this book, and this was the first Katherine Center book I ever read, and I am definitely going to be picking up more books from her. And the last book I read in 2024 is The Singer's Gun by Emily St. John Mandel. And in this one, everyone Anton Waker grew up with is corrupt. His parents dealt in stolen goods, and he was a successful purveyor of forged documents until he abandoned it all in his early 20s, determined to live a normal life, and a fiancée who knows nothing of his criminal beginnings. He's on the verge of finally getting married when his cousin Aria, former partner in crime, blackmails him into helping her with one last job. He considers the task a small price for future freedom, but as he sets off for an Italian honeymoon, it soon becomes clear the ghost of his past can't be left behind so easily. The task that Aria requires will cost him more than he could ever imagine. I really enjoyed this one. And it goes back and forth, like the present time, and also back to his past and his relationship with his cousin and his family and what they do for a living. And shows how when he stays in Italy and what happens over there, and ultimately what happens in the end. I really enjoy the ending of this book, and I can't wait to read the next one and see what the little connection between these books are. And that is it for my reading wrap-up for November-December of 2024. And a sneak peek, I'll take a sip of this first, into my January, this month's reading plan. There's 12 pieces of paper in here, 12 books, one for each month, of course, in 2025. And I wanted to be able to pick out one here so I can share it as part of my reading plans for January on my next video. So the first book, one of the books from my January reading plans is, it's a big one. It is, I don't know if you can see that or not. Starting out with the big one. Moby Dick by Herman Melville. I'll be reading that one this month apparently. And my next video is going to be talking about my other January reading plans, and I'll explain more about this book and this jar of books in that video. So I hope you'll come back and check out the next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.